Uganda National Building Review Board, Engineer Flavia Wire, who heads all engineers and physical planners in the whole country. They were over 400 for the last 3 days, starting last Wednesday. They have been in Mbarara City here in a workshop where on their first day, they formed 12 groups and visited sites that are ongoing or that are in progress in Mbarara City and some in Mbarara district, the areas that are near the city. And what is encouraging on my side as a part of government is that they have already incorporated, or they have already operationalized automated systems. They have a building industry management system that brings together all local government engineers and physical planners, and that will eliminate the wrong elements or the corrupt from accessing contractors and suppliers to ask for or solicit for bribes. So to me, that is another way of fighting corruption in government and local governments in particular, given that this was for all local governments. Over 400 engineers and physical planners who, for today, I have known that the engineers are actually called building control officers. So which is a key a word that I have added on my vocabulary today. So it's good that they are automating the systems to eliminate the corrupt, but also to fast track service delivery, because automation or information technology systems, they eliminate unnecessary bureaucracies, which is what His Excellency the President has been directing those of us who work directly under him, but also appealing to all government ministries, departments and agencies and government officials or public officials and civil servants to ensure that it's efficient, but importantly, people who are giving a service should be people of integrity. They must exhibit integrity. So fighting corruption and also fast-tracking processes of project approvals and whether they are architectural plans. Investors have been complaining about delaying of approving plans. So with this BIMS, the building industry management system, is going to eliminate unnecessary bureaucracies, where it's just a matter of pressing a button and the project that will have been approved by the rightful authorities will not delay. Head of SHIPU, I have pledged that we are very much available to strategically coordinate collaboratively with all local governments to ensure that we eliminate unnecessary bureaucracies or unnecessary delays, and also eliminate wrong elements from the systems. I have introduced the Uganda's Electronic Investors Protection Portal, which merges all government ministries, departments and agencies that are supposed or that support, protect and guide both local and foreign investors. And they have all gone willing to collaboratively work with us as SHIPU or Investors Protection Unit to ensure that contractors, suppliers and owners of those projects or buildings in the districts and other local governments and the central government will not be delayed. And that is a way of pledging efficient service delivery, which we are all looking forward to. Ninyenda kwebaza Executive Secretary wa Uganda National Building Review Board, Engineer Mrs. Flavia Wire, oyorganizingire ki na board ye yona habwokuba ebiro bishatu ebi engineers ba Uganda yona batebekanise okuba barakozese omukutu IT system nari omukutu gwa kanyabwenje ogurukwetwa BIMS ombugufu nari building industry management systems okuba kuza kuguma nibabita omukanyabwenje ebirukwetenga haza nyowe neija nko wahabwa umugisha gwo kukinga workshop egi naba ningamba ha bintu mukaga ebi investors tubeta bahe ebi investors beitu abo mu Uganda bitweta domestic investors n'abakugahera bitweta foreign investors bari kukira kwemurgunyamu nare bari kushanga bitatebekanise ekikuru omuri byona necyo kugira ngo nubasiga projects zitakahwire ahabwa mismanagement na no kucererwa kubashashura kandi obundi esente nzibaziriho konka ahabwo kutakoraganira hamwe ekiturukweta mu rujungu working in silos kugira ngo engineer tiyamanya owa budget tiyamanya physical planners so obutakoragana hamwe nikiretera ba contractors na suppliers ebyo kukozesa materials batigaho projects zitahwire kandi kifereza government esente nyingi kisasa nabo bari kuba batiremwe esente zabo mu Ruganda bakweta ba musiga nsimbi abo ebyo ku things akubita ebyo butungi nari ba investors so ekintu ekyo nikibasasa munonga ekyo abakozi ba government engineers na physical planners obutakwatanisage na department eri kuba yine kubashashura project yona yaza kuba approved esente nizibaziro konka nibakererwa kushashura contractors ahabwa obutakwatanisa lack of efficient coordination ekyo cyaba kiri kimwe ombikure binashaba ngo bakozese automation bakozese karimagezi za computers na ogumukutu ogubakozire aba National Building Review Board ogwa building industry management system abo kube ogonugureta ebitongore byona ekindi nebikwata ha environment na poor site management ebya environment ebyo buhangwa okuba rukoresa kubi okuba kwikiriza ebizimbe nare enguto nare amakagabantu okwaprovinga plans batagire mu batarebere bataconsideringire ebyo buhangwa nare environment kandi na nobutatayira sites aho barkwani bombeka bya bakeza kwija omuntu yayombekire yashikize hari then ekinde cyango eki local and foreign investors ba complaining aho ni fake building materials engwe bakukozesa ebingi bir duplicated nebichupuri bakoresa za cement emitehimbwa obushuma bugire burahamwe so aba engineers twabashabananye nayongeraho kushaba no kugira ngo bagumiza mwecyo kandi no kujware koti yanjye ndijo yo burwanda kandi tukarwana abo kwa president na turagira burijo ngo tuyine kureba ngo abantu batunga services narubuhereza obushikire bareke kukozesa ebiye bicukuri
Odga murimbarra ninga notekateka kwijo murimbarra abaling suits beno buraro bwamani munonga kandi benene bitanda birungi tibakakoma buraro benene bala nungi bozirimecho kumye cyaburi muringo benene hotelo halimu emere yachiraguju nangwa n'ekijungu kandi orende emere yo kutwara waba baling suits naco barachikora eco mujungu ari kweta ngo niteka we bene na sauna na steam ogesolo na massage basa kubura bayicira kugira ngo akoboherezobwe parking yabo ne yamani munonga kandi nimpango ebyo kwerinda byabo biri guruguru munonga kandi abaling suits barashango mu Rwembo rwambara omuri Katete waruga parking ya boda ya St Mary's ori kwenda ku booking orabasa kurabera namba ze smage ziro mushanje 5 mwenda 21 5 kaga na mwenda kandi orabasa kugamba na director wa link suits ori kurabera namba ze smage ziro mushanje 0 kaga nemwe 5 ogesiro ne ya ziro mushanje 2 kaga nemwe 5 twena katurukangira link suits kugira ngo tutungo buhereza burungi.
Engineer Flavia Bwire is my name, the Executive Secretary of the National Building Review Board. Today we end a 3-day workshop that has brought together building control officers and fiscal planners countrywide. We've been here, we reported on Tuesday, so we've been here up to today. The reason we're here is number one, to make assessments and also to receive feedback from the public on what they think about our services at the local government, those that come to get approvals, what do they experience. And then we also did a practical session of going to the sites to inspect in order to learn how best we are supposed to do inspections as per the law. And we came back with findings that we discussed and agreed on a way forward. Two, we also went through the building industry management system. We trained these fiscal planners and building control officers on how to use the system, and they have left here knowing how to run their duties online. So no building control officer in this country can say they don't know how to use the system. And no building control officer or fiscal planner will go back and say they don't know how to do inspections. So we've resolved that problem going forward. The building control officers have resolved, together with their counterparts, the fiscal planners, that going forward, they are going to work together to ensure these delays that investors have been facing when they seek for services are a thing of the past. They've also resolved to have their routine engagements to ensure that they educate one another, they help and support one another on how to do their roles going forward. So we've also agreed that our next engagement, because we do it annually, our next engagement in April next year will be in Arua City. We will get the theme from the National Building Review Board. We take the year auditing what these local governments are doing. And based on our findings, we agree what topics we want to take them through. So whatever is going to happen between now and March next year, it will inform us what we should teach them next year. So for now, we have not decided on a theme. The theme is drawn from what we find in the field. So basically, that is what has been agreed, and that is what we have done for the last 3 days. We've covered some ground, but I can't say we are where we want to be. Our recent compliance monitoring studies of about 10,000 buildings, within the 10,000, our findings are that our compliance rate is 12.6%, which is really still very low. It means our buildings are still of poor quality. So whatever we are doing every year is meant to improve that standard. It's meant to improve the standard of our buildings. But also you might note that we as the National Building Review Board can only afford to inspect 10,000, and yet we have more than 10 million buildings. So that may not be representative of all. Maybe the situation is worse or it is better. We cannot tell at this point. However, going forward, we have committed to using technology to do our inspections so that we can cover more ground within the year, so that at the end of the year, we have a representative sample of what the buildings look like. So for the next year, we'll employ technology to see that we cover more ground.